He's finally here. SH Figuarts Portgas Donut Ace. It's so surreal that we actually have this glorious masterpiece in our hands, because if you guys aren't aware about how this figure came to existence, then let me put y'all on. This figure was first shown off as an entry into the One Piece World Coliseum as an unpainted prototype, and if you aren't familiar with this event, it is an event where many sculptors duke it out in like a battle royale to see whose figure will get to be available for sale. And thankfully Ace ended up being one of those figures that won. And then shortly after that event, we were able to see his official promos, and they took my breath away. Literal heat was revealed and everything screamed peak. So this purchase was a no-brainer, and now he's here, so let's get this review started. Ace actually comes in a multi-pack with a big window on the front to see all the delicious glazed goodness inside. And delicious indeed, because right out of the packaging, this donut hits. Okay, enough of this bit. I'm sorry, I had to do it, but to actually begin with this review, Ace comes in a brown shipper because he was a web exclusive in Japan. It has his name on it, and that's just about it because it's just a brown box. But I am glad we have it because it protects his glorious masterpiece inside of it. And wow, I mean, I know the box is stylized the same way most One Piece SH Figuarts are, but something about this one hits so damn different. The coloring is so damn clean, and it's very true to Ace's character. We can see peek inside and 2 promo images of him on the front. And it has the One Piece World Coliseum logo on it as well. The top of the box has a Straw Hat cutout that this line does with every box. I think it'd be cool if the top of the box actually had a design unique to each character, like Ace's would be his hat instead, or a donut. Just an idea. Then the right side of the box has a name promo image of the figure, while the left side of the box shows off all the faces he comes with. Then, here's the bottom of the box, and then the back of the box showcases the figure fully, with some pretty cool promo images. Overall, the packaging is straight heat, and just looking at it makes me so damn happy. But I can only stand looking at this guy in the packaging for so long, so let's get this guy free. And once this guy was free from the packaging, I was instantly filled with joy by just how peak this guy is, and I mean peak. He first off looks so damn beautiful, and I mean it. There's so much going on about his look that I just love. His proportions are pretty damn spot on. He is shredded, as we can see his chest, abs, arms, and back, all have some really nice muscle definition. Also on his body we can see his tattoos, and they're both done really cleanly. The Whitebeard tattoo even carries over into his sculpting, so that when you pose him, there isn't any areas that disconnect the tattoo. Then the amount of detail they put into his fit is insane. Like his hat, for instance, has a leather texture on it, so it looks more realistic, and I really love this tiny detail, as they could have just left it plain. Also, the little happy and frowny faces and the beads are painted really cleanly. Then he has his elbow pad on, and it looks good, and it carries it to the sculpt of the joint, so there aren't any empty or wonky spaces. His wrist didn't have his eternal log pose and bracelet, and I'd advise y'all to be careful with both of these, as the bracelet is a separate piece, and you don't want it falling off and getting lost, and the same can be said for the log pose. The little orb is actually pegged in, and so if you aren't aware or careful enough around it, it could pop out and fall, and since it's clear and so tiny, it will be a challenge to find if it hits the floor. Then he has his knife, which he's never used, so it's not removable from the holster, but it does look good and it stays on really well, so you don't have to worry about falling off while posing. Then for his shorts, I really love them for multiple reasons. The first reason being they look great. His belt and leg pouch are painted really clean, and I love all the wrinkling on the shorts. Then the next reason I love them is the material that they're made out of, which means this can aid in getting extra leg movement as well as allow more knee bend, which is so freaking awesome. I wish Luffy's shorts were like this instead of the hard plastic that they are. Then lastly for his look, we have his boots, and they look great. They are big and goofy just how they're supposed to be, and I really love the metallic paint on them. So overall, Ace looks amazing, but I do have to point out a few little minor errors on him that I have noticed. On my copy around the back of his knees and the side of his torso, we can see like where I'm guessing they broke the parts from the mold, and they didn't clean it up too good. This doesn't bother me much at all, but it is worth pointing out. And those really are the only errors I found on this figure, as the rest of him is great. He moves smoothly and nothing falls apart, so I am thankful for that. And what else I'm thankful for is his accessories, as he is loaded with them. Ace first comes with 5 beautiful interchangeable faceplates. He first comes with a teeth grinning face that captures this expression perfectly, a happy joyful smiling face which looks so damn good, and it makes me so damn happy looking at it. Then he comes with an angry teeth gritted face and an angry yelling face, which both look good and do a great job with the added detail of the eyes being dilated like how they are in the series. And lastly for faces, he comes with a sleeping face, and I freaking love this face, because if you guys don't know, Ace will just randomly fall asleep and shit when he's eating, and it's always hilarious seeing. So I am very happy this face is included, as they did a phenomenal job with it, and it is legit so damn fun to mess around with. And then with all the faces, you have the choice of having them on his hat or hatless head, and they all look good on either head. And one thing to mention about the hat head, swapping the faces out is a little different than typical hat heads. For this one, you'll need to take the hat off and then pop the strap and face out, and then put a new face in and then the strap on and then put the hat on. So it can be a little tedious. And then another thing to mention about the hat head is that there can sometimes be a little gap between the hair and the hat. So you might have to press the hat down some to readjust, but even then it still doesn't fix all the space. It's not like overly annoying, but it can be noticeable at times. Ace then comes with a DLC faceplate for Luffy. This face is of him laughing and it looks really good, especially paired up with Ace. Seeing these two together just laughing really makes me happy. I really do like this choice of DLC face for Luffy, but I was honestly expecting a different one if you know what I mean. Yeah, sorry. But this one is still really good and I love it. Ace then comes with a fantastic assortment of hands. He comes with 2 fisted hands, 2 open hands, 2 holding something hands, which can actually hold Luffy's meat.
Oh no!
No, not that meat. This meat. So that's cool. And then Ace comes with 2 fire pistol hands, 2 fire finger hands, and 1 firewall hand. All these hands look so damn badass as they did a great job of making the hands actually look like they were made out of fire with the way the flames look and how it blends into the flesh. And then he comes with multiple fire effects. That's right, Ace comes with multiple fire effects that look amazing and are so damn fun playing around with. He first comes with a fire fist and you can actually see a fist shape in it. Like what? Such an insane detail. Then he comes with his fire effect piece that can go around his arms or legs. And you can actually combine this piece with a fire fist to give the fire fist some even more power. Then he comes with another fire effect piece that has 2 plug-in options for it. You could have to where the flame is either longer or short. And be careful, because my dumbass actually broke the shorter one trying to peg it in. It was my fault, so I can't be too upset about it, but that's also why we buy spares, and thankfully I do have a spare Ace, so I can just use that one. Oh, and the fire effects just plug onto his wrist joints, and they stay on really well. Then he comes with his backpack. Yep, that's right. He comes with his freaking backpack, and wow, I love this accessory. It looks amazing as it's detailed and painted so damn well, and it legit looks so damn good on Ace. Like they did not have to include this accessory, but yet they did. I am so grateful for it. Also, it has this figure's branding on it, which I like because that means it isn't on the figure. And then another accessory they didn't have to include, but did, is his jacket and scarf. And I am so damn happy they included these cloth pieces, as it is actually the first time in this line we have gotten some cloth goods. And they really look so damn clean and sick on Ace. The jacket looks amazing and is easily some of the best cloth goods Tamashii has done. And then, the jacket and scarf do have bending wire in them, so you can pose them how you see fit. Like as an example, for the scarf, you will need to mess around with it for a bit for it to look like it fits right. I still don't think I have it adjusted good enough yet, but this will just have to do. And honestly, it doesn't look that bad. And that's it for Ace's accessories. And all I gotta say is, peak! This is how you do accessories. He legit comes with everything that an Ace figure should come with. And I am completely satisfied with them, and for $90, I think they're worth it. A million out of 10 for accessories, and they really bring this figure to another level. And speaking of another level, his articulation brings him to even greater heights. Ace's articulation is easily the best in the line as he moves so damn smooth and effortlessly. To begin with, his head can look a decent bit upwards, pretty far downwards, can look side to side fine, and gets a good amount of head tilt all around. And his neck helps a good bit with the overall head movement. Now we're going to look at this butterfly joint and shoulder articulation, which is definitely weird at first when you first start posing this guy. Like the engineering for the shoulders have to where they can't go up unless you move this butterfly joint and bring them up. And it brings them up about this far, and it does look a little weird. It doesn't really bother me much now, but at first it did a little. This design isn't horrible though, as it allows the arms to cross over one another easily going forwards, and then it also allows the arms to cross over one another going backwards, which is insane because you don't see this much nowadays. So honestly, I really do like the shoulder engineering as it allows for so much extra movement and range despite how it looks. Then Ace has a bicep swivel, and what's that, double jointed elbows? Nah, it can't be. But yes, he does. Most One Piece SH Figuarts don't get this luxury, so it's great Ace gets them and they work amazingly. Like, can y'all now see why I was complaining so much about double jointed elbows in a Sabo review? You compare Ace's elbow joint to Sabo's, and Sabo's just get shitted on. And then Ace has a good wrist movement. As for the torso articulation, there's a lot of cuts and stuff, so let's see if they actually do anything. His upper diaphragm area can move around pretty decently in all areas, besides side to side, as it doesn't really twist much at all. Then the lower ab crunch allows the figure to crunch this far forwards and this far backwards. And then the waist joint gets great forwards and backwards range, as well as good tilt, but sadly it really doesn't twist side to side. So this figure's torso really won't be turning much side to side as the upper diaphragm and waist don't allow much of it. But if you do combine all the elements of the torso and waist articulation, you get a great amount of forwards and backwards crunch, so this is good. And now let's talk about his legs. I love them. I mentioned earlier his shorts are made of a softer material, and I am so glad they did, as they help the legs get so much more freedom of movement compared to legs like Luffy's. Like Ace can kick pretty far forwards, pretty far backwards, and really far outwards. And then you can get a little bit of rotation at the upper thigh. And then on the inside of his shorts, his legs are on a double ball peg, and this is great because it allows for even more posability in his legs, as his joint can twist and move well all around. And then he has double jointed knees. That's right, double jointed knees. Woo! Yeah, baby! And then he has fantastic ankle articulation as they can go up, down, and get an insane ankle rocker. And lastly, he has a toe joint. So overall, Ace's articulation is peak, and you're about to see just how great Ace looks next to other figures in the line. First, here he is next to Romance Non-Luffy, and wow, seeing these two together really makes my heart happy as they look so damn perfect next to each other. Here he is next to Sabo. This is another comparison that really makes me happy since we never got to see this in the series, and we never will. So I'm glad we get this in figure form, and we can get creative with it. Also, here is Ace's effects on Sabo, and they work wonderfully. Then here is Ace next to the Sentinel version. Sentinel can finally retire and relinquish the title of best Ace figure. It held up for a long time, but now SHF is on top. Also, the Sentinel is still a treasure, and his effects look really good on SHF, and you can actually even put the Sentinel hands on SHF, and it looks pretty good. Then here is Ace next to Mega House Ace. The Mega House still holds its ground next to the SHF, but the SHF is still way better. Then here he is next to Sanji and Zoro. Here he is next to Kid and Law. Here he is next to Kaido. Then here he is next to Team Gojo. Here he is next to Demoniacal Fit Goku. And lastly, here he is next to Storm Collectibles, Yujiro Hama. So for my final thoughts, you guys know what I'm about to say. He's peak. He is easily the best figure in the line. It's just so damn fun to play around with. Like, I really feel like the pose and possibilities are endless, and that's just because of how great he is. From the beautiful likeness, to the freaking peak accessories such as all the cool fire hands and effects, to the backpack and jacket, and then his articulation is phenomenal as he can hit just about any pose I can think of. Like finally, a One Piece SHF that is a pleasure and joy to own. No limbs falling off, no heavy ass plastic cape to rip off, and no single jointed knees and elbows. A literal pleasure, and I can't emphasize just how great this figure is. Call me a glazer, I don't care. I like glazed donuts, so I'll glaze this one. He's that good. And if you want this guy for the $90 retail price, I recommend pre-ordering him now on Amazon, which I'll link in the description below. Or you can check Hobby Genki, Nin Game, or Figuarts Mate if they have them. Or you can do eBay, but the prices are a little bit higher, and I ain't even go cap. I'd actually pay $120 for this guy, but still try to pay $90 if possible. This figure is the complete package and sets a standard on what most, if not all, SH Figuarts can be. But to wrap this video up, I love this figure and I recommend him to any One Piece or non-One Piece fan because he's so good and he's one of those characters you can do just about anything with and it'll look like it makes sense. Thank you guys so much for watching, and here are the winners to the Deku giveaway. More giveaways soon, so please don't be sad if you lost because you'll have another opportunity in the coming months. I'll see you on the next one. One Piece is on top.